Can you sort that list?
If I can sort it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. If you want a sorted list, go with a map. If you want an unsorted list, use an array. Now you can sort an array, but you're going to be annoyed at it. That's a great question on how we can easily sort an array. And I would say the way how I would do it is grab the array, loop through it, and create a string that is separated by commas, and then use the sort command on that, and then string split that into an array again. That would be very simple for me to do.
I
Well,
will,
actually,
I will
to your
loop
point,
through and create a map.
Sorry.
I will loop through it, grab the map, and extract the key into the array.
Well, or create a map, right? So you would loop through it into a map, and the map will sort it for you. But what if you wanted sorted descending? What if you want it randomly descended? So I would use the sort function to do all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
well, what I was going to say is go ahead and just use Toolkit or whatever you want, something else. Create a list of for the extensions, just so we stick with the example. But what I wanted you to do was to show how, because it's really fascinating. You can leave the sort. So build your string. I just want a string. I don't want. I want to use a string.
Okay. So you want a normal string.
Yeah. And what's fascinating with the sort command is in my brain, I always think about using the sort command, sorting on line returns, going down in a list. But the sort command allows you to say, hey, use the comma as your delimiter, right? You don't even have to transform it into like a list that you're going up and down. You can straight up sort it in that list just as it is.
Exactly. So here we have a D parameter that allows me to say what the delimiter is. And you use the D parameter, the D option, say what the delimiter is by just putting it right next to it. And that means that if your delimiter is a colon here, then let's do something else, like MP4, comma, you know, right? And JPEG. So now notice how I have kind of like two different lists. I have one on this side and one on the other. And that's what I want to sort on. I can say, hey, sort on the column there. And now the list is going to be the EXCs at the beginning because that's the first character and the MP3. But if I have something like ADB here, you will notice that the sorting is going to change now. The ABD list is going to be at the beginning and the EXC is going to be at the end, right? So it just flipped the whole thing because you can tell exactly what to use to do the sorting. So it's a great, that's the reason why I was saying, like, if I have an array, I just do what I just did, which is I just loop through the array, create my list. And instead of using this, I can even use that. I can even use that same thing here.
Right.
And this semicolon is what I'm going to use to sort on, right? And I just say sort on the semicolon there. And now I will string split that back into an array, right? And so I have an array sorted and then have it back as an array with sorted in the particular way that I want, because the sort command is extremely powerful in AutoHotkey.
Yeah.
Like I like how this command works. I think it has
Now
way
you
too
do.
many options though.
Yeah, but remember the V1 was destructive. It would actually
Yeah, this one is not. Yes, that's great. Right. Here's your delimiter. Here's the numeric sort. Here, based on a specific character or position. So sort on the third position of the list. If you have a lot of new lines, each line is sorted on the third position. It doesn't matter what character is in there. It's a weird thing. Reverse sort, randomize order, remove the duplicates first, and a lot of other weird options that you can do with the sort command. So,
And the one that really blew my mind was using a function. I still have troubles following that.
a callback function here.
Yeah.
So if you want a very, very custom sorting, right?
So
just imagine,
we
Joe.
we did one.
What?
Maestro wrote one for me. I wanted it sorted off of the length of the text,
For example,
right? And
Well-
that's when he first introduced this to me, and I'm like, I can't even follow what in the world like you're doing here.
imagine that you want to sort on usage, like what Ray was saying. So you keep an object in which I just keep track of how much I have used a given script.
Mhm.
I open it 5 times, so I know that that script is 5, the other one is 10, the other one's thing. But it's an object. So I call my function to check for that particular word in my object, and now I know what it is, and now I sort it based on that. It's a weird thing. But yes, it is just for creating advanced custom sorting, which there are situations in which you want to do that. There's others that a simple sort will. It's easier to come up with a number and then just sort on that number. Hopefully that makes sense. I think, does that answer your question, Connie? Like, do you know,
And remind me of this, Isaias.
mhm.
In a drop down list, can you, is there an option to just say I always want that alphabetized as well? Without
No,
really? Wow, that's surprising.
no, it's just the array. You
Okay.
just pass the array. So you would have to sort the array before putting it in.
I guess that was really what I was driving at is a drop down. It seemed like the drop down should have been in alphabetical order.
Right,
If there's only
Yeah,
if there's only 4 items, who cares? But
right.
so you would just
yeah,
go back.
no,
You
I
go back to the
understand. Yeah.
you go back to
Well-
the script and alphabetize it at the top, and when you
Well,
add a
also-
new one in, put it in the right place.
If you go, if you don't have to share this, but if you did, you'd see my top one was in alphabetical order. That is because not because of what you're saying, Connie. It's because I want to quickly know, hey, this new extension I'm going to add here. Do I already have it in here? Like I don't remember.
Exactly.
Right? So I alphabetize it manually, usually.
Yeah, you did it manually, right?
And then I'm like, okay, now I know where to look and I know where to put a new one because I'm like, I
Right.
don't want to have multiple. But to that point, programmatically, we probably should have a dedupe option type thing as well, right? To say, in case you did end up having it multiple times, we should probably clean that list. But here's the thing also when remembering and programming, when you are in control, in this case, we are in control of that list, right? So hopefully we're not idiots and we do our due diligence and make sure there's not duplicates. If you're getting a list from other people, absolutely you want to make sure you do things like that, right?
So unique and sorted. So I could say, I want to sort. So this is what I meant. You have your formats here. You create your string here. And whenever you're doing this, whenever you're looping like this, remember that the last one is going to keep the last separator. So what I usually do is after I do a loop like that, I just trim that same variable on that delimiter right there.
Yeah.
So that it removes the last one at the end. All right. So I do that. That keeps the last one. Then I do my sorting however I prefer in doing it. And now formats is string split, this unique sorted here. And what Joe was saying before, oh, it's not destructive. Right. Because I created this variable here. And at this point, I'm replacing the variable. For now, I'm just removing the last one. But if I do a sort, I would replace it in V1, but that's not true in V2. We can use a different name for whenever I sort. So I keep the original and the mixed, fixed one. That's if I want it. I don't have to. I can just replace it if I wanted to. That's okay. So as you can see now, I can do many other things. I can sort on the limited, do many other things. And actually, I can say sort random here. So I could say unique and also randomly sort. So every time you start the program is in a different order. Or what was it? Sorts reverse order here, random. That's so funny. So you just do
Yeah, we'll keep you
that.
guessing.
Yes. And now when you run the tool. Oh, by the way, yeah, you have to be careful when you do this because the split, I'm splitting in the wrong thing there. Let me see, where did I do that? The delimiter would be delimiter, comma. If I don't use the delimiter, it would just split on each character,
Okay.
which is, again, what is happening here. I have to split on the comma, by the way. You see? Yeah, so this is a random sort. We have JPEG here, GIF at the top. If I rerun this, now it's different, right? But again, to your point, Joe, so hey, what happens if I have AHK twice here? AHK, and then later on let me put it again, okay? I just have AHK. Would I have it twice? No, I will not. So
And
basically, here I will have AHK only once.
remind me of this also, Isaias. Isn't there a way to do it with its case sensitive as well on the unique? Is that right or not?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. So we have U for duplicates. Oh, case. Yeah, the C option is for case insensitive or case sensitive.
Which
again,
actually,
yeah.
also we probably would want to, when you're doing your looping, Isaias, we might want to adjust all the case to lowercase or something, right? Normally,
For example,
working on something.
right. We can just string lower this. Whoops. String lower. And that would make sure that even if I make something, like
Right.
this or anything, it would automatically take care of that. All right. It will remove duplicates, and it will also make sure that they're all underscore, like lowercase is what I meant. Right. But then again, this is the cool thing. It is not a lot of work, right? It's just that you manually have to do it yourself because the drop down doesn't have those options itself. That's it. But from there to, deduping, making it lower, sorting, it's just a few lines, and we're just going overboard with it. It didn't have to take that many lines, all right? So hopefully that helps.
Yeah, that's instructive.
Cool. Awesome. And again, all of that is done here, but down here, this is actually using that same object up top. So it's using this object. So it's already or sorted, deduped, and everything. So it's really great when you work with variables. I don't know any reasons why you wouldn't work with variables in a lot of situations. You have to, don't hard code stuff if you don't need to.
That's probably
Makes it
one of
like-
the most common things that we see is on thing, scripts on the forum and stuff, is people hard code things that you're like, why did you decide to hard code that? Like, especially paths, right? Often people hard code paths. I'll do that to start, just to I just want to get
That's what I was gonna say. Like, yeah, we do it anyways, right? To start.
Yeah.
But remember to change it later, right?